Why is my chat over there? Let's see who's in YouTube. Irish, what's going on? We're just getting started. We have 2 tornado warnings around Champaign, Illinois, and Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, so let's take a look at both these real quick. Radar indicated this thing looks like it's going to expire, but let's just zoom in here real quick. Definitely some rotation there. Reflectivity isn't looking too intense. Cloud tops aren't that high. There's a little rotation there. This isn't too scary looking of a storm, but this could be an EF0, EF1 heading out towards Three Rivers. Just to the northeast of Biloxi, heading out towards Three Rivers, Louisiana. I wouldn't say just to the northeast, but all up there. Okay, not too crazy. We've got another one, radar indicated quarter size hail here. This looks like some decent hail. Let's see what the velocities are looking like. Nothing crazy in here as well. Don't expect a big tornado to be on the ground there, but something we need to pay attention to up there with, in, what is that, Urbana, Illinois. I just started, so give me a second, guys. Got severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place. Eastern Illinois is going to see some potential good hail and winds moving in right now. Let me show you the latest on our zones. Here we go. That big black area right there is where we're a little bit worried about strong tornadoes. Okay, so am I going to get hit in Cincinnati? It's impossible to tell you who's going to get hit anywhere. Strong winds are likely in Cincinnati. Hail is possible. Tornadoes are possible. Strong winds are likely because you're going to have a squall line that's going to bring that. Not every part of the squall line is going to have hail. Not every part of the squall line is going to have a tornado. Most of the squall line is not going to have a tornado. It's rare. Even in a tornado outbreak, severe weather outbreak, it's very rare. Even if you're in target bullseye area to see or be affected by a tornado. So no reason to worry. Just stay weather alert. This is going to be evening hours. Your weather's going to start to go downhill once we get to the evening hours out there in Cincinnati. I should probably take I'm so congested. My sinuses are messed up still. I should probably take a little bit of allergy medicine or something before I get started on this on this long severe weather coverage, or else I'm going to be miserable if I don't deal with it now. What's going on, Charles? Listen, Matt's been outdoing me with the amount of people in his live, okay? So if anyone wants to share this live with anyone, like the live, anything, I appreciate the follows. My only goal is to outdo Mezzo Matt, and that's just because I love him and I want him to hurt as a friend. You know what I mean? Okay. No, I'm just messing with you. Let's see how Mezzo Matt's doing right now. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me just run this down for you guys so you know what's going on right now. Neither of these tornado warnings look like they look like EF0s. Could be EF1. That's why I'm not sitting here yelling about them yet. But just so you guys know what's going on, we do have a tornado warning. Radar indicated Champaign, Illinois. Tornado warning observed Jackson, Mississippi. This looks like an EF1 maybe. EF1, EF0. So this is heading up towards, what is that, Hurley, Louisiana. It doesn't look super intense, but that thing could do a little bit of damage. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning near Coles, Illinois, Douglas, Cumberland, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois. That is damage threat considerable. 70-mile-per-hour gusts are possible, quarter-size hail. The rest of these severe thunderstorm warnings are your average. You could see 60-mile-per-hour gusts and small hail. There's one near Ozark, Missouri, Douglas, Missouri, that is producing hail slightly over an inch. Nothing too significant, catastrophic warning-wise right now. So, but things are going to intensify as the day goes on. By the way, CSU, guys, CSU has given us a high-hatched risk zone for Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. That is a 5 out of 5 risk zone. That is as intense and as extreme as your risk zone gets. We got time for that to downtrend. It can't uptrend. That's as bad as it gets, but it can downtrend. So hopefully that downtrends. We've been talking about this Wednesday, Thursday coming up for a very long time, at least for a week. That's a very long time in weather world. But it looks so crazy. It makes me want to overlook this, but we don't want to overlook this. This is a large slight hatch risk zone for tornadoes. You could see EF2's pluses in here. Guys, another thing I wanted to show you, and I'm going to get to chat and I'm going to answer your questions, I promise. Look at this 45% wind zone. Okay? And is anyone in chat in this area here? Is anyone in chat in this area? And I'm gonna get to your questions. Data Kathy, Nicole, I appreciate you. Okay, we have a decent amount of people in chat in this area. Okay. This you could see, and you don't need a tornado. The difference between a tornado zone and a wind zone is the wind zone, a lot of times this is associated with the squall line, and there's not really, you're not dodging the squall line. It's just one big connected, trail of thunderstorms. This right here means anyone in this zone, you've got about a 50-50. This is a 45% chance. There's a 100% chance of 75 plus mile per hour gusts in this zone. 100% chance. There's about a 50% chance of individuals in this area seeing those 75 mile per hour gusts plus. So, this isn't a tornado risk zone, but this is, you could have very, very like category 1 type gusts when the main squall line passes over you. So I'd way rather be in this than in the hatch tornado zone, but this is a pretty big 45% wind zone, guys. So they're expecting this squall line to be packing a little bit of a punch. So again, this is going to really, this is evening hours. I would say around 5-6 p.m. I think we're going to see the most intense. We're going to start seeing that squall line really intensify up here through central Indiana, moving into Kentucky. We're just seeing these thunderstorms firing up here eventually, and I'll show you what this is going to look like. Don't worry, chat, I'm getting to. I like to explain stuff. I've only been on stream for like 7 minutes, so I just like to explain it in the beginning. Looking at our latest HRRR, here's what we expect moving forward over the next couple hours. Ready? 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. See what happens as we get around 6 p.m.? You start to get this big explosion of thunderstorms here. This is this squall line here that they're expecting. These storms right here is where we could see some very strong winds and potentially some big hail. Again, tornado-wise, what do we watch? Where are we watching for the strongest tornadoes? This zone right down here. This zone. We call them SIGTORs. If anyone in chat is in this area, significant tornado. I see some people saying I'm scared, I'm worried. There's no need to be scared, no need to be worried. Just have a plan to be weather alert. Again, you can be in the middle. You could be the bullseye for the most severe weather on a tornado outbreak, and you're still more likely to not see a tornado or be affected by it. This is a lot of square footage, guys, and tornadoes aren't that big. So it's actually very hard to get hit by a tornado. It's very hard. Most people in their life will never even see one. So, but the reason you really need to pay attention is because on a day like this, if you are extremely unlucky and you do see one, this area could be, producing strong ones. EF2, EF3, the ones we don't, So have a plan, stay weather alert, but no need to be worried. You're still very, very unlikely to be affected by a tornado in here. But you need to stay weather alert in case you do. In case you are. But hail and wind associated with this event through here, hail and wind will affect a lot more people through here. So that, you want to know when the squall line's coming over. You probably want to be inside. If you have a garage, maybe take your car inside before this squall line comes through. So it's not impossible. I'll just show you the hail outlook, and then I'm going over to questions. It is not impossible to get, what we call gorilla hail in this zone here. Especially down here where you see the hatch right here. So this does include portions of eastern DFW, just to the north of Houston. So, this, they call it, grapefruit size hail. So not guaranteed, but it's possible with this type of setup. So that is what I needed to let you guys know about CSU risk zone. And I'm getting to chat, I promise, like I just said. This 1 second. CSU day 3 to 8. Open link in new tab. This, though, needs to be talked about. last thing, actually, because I forgot. This needs to be talked about. This is Thursday from CSU. This is a high hatched zone. This is as significant as it gets. Look where it is, guys. Same exact location of today's event. Hailwind and Sigtors. If anyone who's been following me knows, I said we're kicking off April. Like April, the beginning of April looks crazy severe weather-wise. And it's coming to fruition here. All right, I'm getting to chat. Let's do it. I'm getting to chat. Let's do it. Let's get back to Radar Omega. Okay, and let me just turn this down so we can see the map better for when you guys are asking questions. We'll go here, and then we'll just go to our day one zone. I'll keep it on the tornado one right here. All right. Oof. Champagne. That tornado warning dropped. Like I said, it probably would. I saw rotation. It looked like rotation up in the clouds. It was probably an EF0. I hope it didn't touch down and affect anyone, but when I got on, it looked pretty weak. This one, it looks like it's about to expire too. Like I said, this one didn't look impressive on the radar. Expires in 10 minutes. I don't think this one's going to go much longer. Here you go. Let's take a look at it. It is observed. There is still rotation. There's shear. I wouldn't call this rotation. There's shear in the clouds here. I don't see a tornado on the ground there. I think that's going to expire. So we'll just be back to our severe thunderstorm warning here. But again, we are in the beginning of this event. So I think 4 p.m., about an hour, is when things really pop off. Yeah, Champagne's fine now. We do have, let's go into Champaign, Illinois. It's going to be this one right here. We, quarter size hail, 70 plus mile per hour gusts, and considerable damage threat. Right here around, I guess, I don't even see Champaign on the map here, but it says it's in here, so I trust you guys. Yeah, so where you see these high cloud tops, this is where the biggest hail's going to be, in these pinks. Typically, it's in the pink area, and we just got an extension. We just got an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning heading up towards Paris. So, if you're back here, the worst of this squall has passed through. But, again, moving up towards Danville, Georgetown, Paris, Illinois. We got one moving up towards Watseka, and just moved through Paxton, Illinois. This is the beginning initiation of this, and then I'm telling you right now, guys, watch these storms down here. I'm concerned for southeastern Missouri. What just happened? Where'd my risk zone go, guys? Is radar Omega? What are you doing? What are you doing? Lord. All right. Let's just turn this off so we can see the map better. It's sunny out in Indy now. We're forecasters expecting this. Brittany, it's sunny in Indy. You do not want it to be sunny. You want it to be cloudy ahead of a severe system. Why? When it's cloudy, that's going to moderate the temperatures, the temperature gradient from the upper atmosphere to the lower atmosphere, meaning you're going to have more stability. There's been a lot of discussion on if there was going to be clearing of clouds literally out here before this event. And some meteorologists were saying, I think the clouds are going to clear. It's going to be clear skies. Some were saying it's going to be cloudy. We said, we hope it's going to be cloudy. So you're saying you're in Indianapolis and there's clear skies. You know, that you would rather it be cloudy. There's clear skies. What that's going to do is set up that's going to promote more instability out ahead of your severe weather. So I'm glad you told me that, though, because I've been wondering. I haven't looked at the satellite view yet. I've been wondering because that's been the discussion. Was there going to be some light rain showers or some clouds moving through here? Where we're going to have the cap broken a little bit out here before the storms moved in. So thanks for that intel. We can look at the satellite here really quickly, too, to confirm that, but I believe you. So there's a patch of clear skies through here. This isn't as bad as I thought. So you see, this is concerning as well. We've got a lot of clear skies out here. We've got some clearer-ish skies from Louisville up through Indianapolis. Not super high cloud tops. And then also we're starting to see some clear skies out through western Kentucky as well. So we would have liked to see this all covered, these patches here. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's get back to our radar. So someone said, this is why I'm concerned east of St. Louis, sunny and sirens. Yeah, there is some sunniness over here in eastern and southeastern Missouri. You have a lot of this bad weather to the south and east of you guys right now. So a lot of this bad weather is actually moving to the south of St. Louis right now, which is good. All right, we got an extension. This is not observed anymore. It's radar indicated for this tornado warning down here in Louisiana. Let me just cover this. Let me just look at this real quick for you guys. This to me looks like we could be seeing a little EF0, EF1 trying to get back together right there. Let me check the correlation coefficient, see if we have anything on the ground. Not really. So I think we're solid, but a little sketchy rotation down here. Again, was I saying Louisiana before on this, guys? I'm sorry. This is Mississippi. I think I was calling this Louisiana. Because, yeah, if we were in southeastern Louisiana, there would be a lot of recognizable cities around there. There's not much out here. But southeastern Missouri, there's definitely a funnel cloud there. It doesn't look like we have a tornado on the ground right now, but we could, so be cautious. Yali, what's going on? I appreciate that. Charlie, I appreciate that. Nicole, Mac, Pam, what's going on? How do you think this will affect Cincinnati? Well, again, Cincinnati, the biggest thing we're looking at Cincinnati for right now is this wind zone. This wind zone looks pretty significant in Cincinnati. So this is a 45% wind risk zone, meaning you could get 75 plus mile per hour gusts through this area, probably later after 7 p.m. Northwest Arkansas, Rogers specifically. Northwest Arkansas isn't in that terrible of a zone. I'd way rather be in Northwest Arkansas than Northeast Arkansas. Northeast Arkansas is in our SIGTOR potential, meaning you could see EF2 pluses out here potentially. Northwestern Arkansas, if you don't see anything in the next couple hours, your day is done. And right now, we don't see any sort of crazy cloud top out there. So not too concerned right now with Northwestern Arkansas. Stay weather alert just in case, though. MK, what's going on, dude? What is going on? Can you please tell me Champaign? Champaign's fine. Where exactly? And I can't... Yeah, I mean, the worst has moved through. The bad thunderstorms are off into your east now. So this is clear, almost not clear skies behind you, but it's letting up. We could see some of these thunderstorms down here move up back into that Champaign area, so pay attention. This probably wasn't your last line of thunderstorms for today, so yeah, you guys are in that high wind zone, and we have a tornado threat. Here, I'll push this back into our tornado zone right here. So you guys are up in that 10% tornado risk for today as well. So keep staying weather alert out there. This radar is called Radar Omega. This radar's called Radar. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. Hi, Fisher. Say hi to everyone. Say hi, everyone. No, say hi, everyone.
Hi, yeah.
Good job. Thanks, guys. Okay, Joliet, Illinois. You do have some thunderstorms about to move over. They don't look too severe, but we can go down to a local radar here. Oh, you got a nice little radar right over your head. Look at that. I guess that's an airport. Could be some hail moving into Joliet. could be a little hail core right here. Which direction are these storms moving? Could have a little bit of light hail moving through and maybe some 50, 60 mile per hour gust in about 10, 15 minutes. So get ready for that. But does not look super severe. So I think you guys are good. Does not look severe right now. What looks potentially severe is wind-wise is this squall line right here. You can see the way it's... What happens sometimes, guys, when these storms are moving very quickly and they're intensifying, you actually see this inflow because of the pace at which these storms are moving in the lower level jet, pushing back on the squall line like this. So when you see this wobbly squall line like this, a lot of times there's strong winds in here. I mean, they're literally being, held back by the air ahead of it because they're moving so quickly. So, Danville could see some pretty strong gusts here in anywhere. I mean, I would say maybe about 20 minutes or less, maybe much less. This is like really right on top of you, actually. So maybe 10 minutes. Lafayette, Indiana. Guys, got a little thunderstorm about to move over you right now. Yeah, I mean, this stuff looks to be 30 minutes to an hour out to your west. Wind is going to be a big issue with this. Right now, there's no tornado threat directly out to your west. Wind is a big threat, but we could see a QLCS out of this, potentially an EF1. That's what it's looking like right now. So I'd have weather alerts on. You guys are in the clear right now, but there's some pretty big storms heading your way. Again, 30 minutes to an hour. Things will probably start to go downhill very quickly. Someone asked Paris, Illinois. Weren't we just looking at Paris, Illinois? Yeah, I mean, these are on top of you in Paris. You guys are going to get some pretty windy conditions here. It's strong downpours, maybe small hail, maybe very small hail. In Paris as well here, like now. This is on top of you guys. So, nothing significantly severe. We can see that the radar is indicating quarter-size hail and 60 mile per hour gusts, though. Possible. Right now. It's moving in. Kentucky's in the clear right now. We haven't seen our initiation of severe weather or really any thunderstorms down in Kentucky. We got some rain showers in the area. But that's going to change shortly. By shortly, I mean more like in the next couple hours. Appreciate it, Chris and Cindy. This is Radar Omega. Ooh, move too quick. Chicago, Illinois. Again, we talked about this earlier. You're about to have some thunderstorms move through. There is a severe thunderstorm warning up to your northwest, although the worst of the severe weather does look to stay south of Chicago Metro today. But sometimes you get these lingering storms that are a little bit more intense than forecasts up to the north. So I'm not ready to say Chicago's not going to get any severe weather, but you're not in a terrible zone today. Thunderstorms are very likely. I mean, you're about to have thunderstorms moving over, but that doesn't mean they're going to be severe. It doesn't look severe right now. Abby, I appreciate that. Go. Val. Oh, that's Chile. What? Why did this take me to Chile, guys? Ooh, that looks pretty. Look at these mountains. There we go. Yeah, you guys are hour 1 to 2 hour and a half away from probably I would say an hour away from this stuff moving in here. This is going to bring you some strong winds and maybe small hail. You could see a QLCS tornado out of this up here to the north in northwestern Indiana. I don't think you have really potential for a strong significant tornado EF2 plus, but some small hail and gusty winds 60 plus mile per hour are possible. Weather looks like it could go downhill in about an hour. Let's see here. When's Louisville, Kentucky going to get hit? You guys want to look at this timing here? Let's go to models, convection allowing, HRRR. Remember, I'm just one person. So, do I have any mods in here, by the way? I'm up in just a slight drizzle and cloudy skies. I got lucky. Yeah, you did, FK. If there's any mods in here, pin your comment. I just want to know if I have any mods in here. So timing-wise, I'm a model. Okay. Timing-wise, let's look at the latest HRRR. Here we go. Again, northwestern Indiana, like I said, an hour. Those storms are going to be moving in up there. Talking about Kentucky, Louisville, this is probably going to be your most significant portion of the day. Right in here. Right now, the HRRR is thinking around 10 p.m. Give or take an hour, these storms speed up and slow down all the time. This right here, guys, so we're talking, when are things going to look the most intense? 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Okay, watch where this is, okay? Watch where this is, guys, so you know the timing. 5 p.m., 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., okay? 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So, again, it's really like a 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. 5 p.m. tonight to 5 a.m. where we're going to see this whole region. That's going to be the timing across this region. 5 p.m. We already have storms, though. We already have severe thunderstorm warnings all through here. So we're ahead of schedule. But 5 p.m., 5 a.m. That's our timing. So just imagine you're in the middle here. We're expecting what? Closer to midnight. Not really. This could be more like 11, but that's the timing of this. That's the timing of this. And yeah, wow. Why the worst wind threat is to the north, guys? Why we have that 45% wind threat to the north? Here's our low pressure. Okay? Here's our cyclone, and this is that tail of the cyclone. So this thing is, just imagine it cranking up and then just whipping around, right? Like when you like what you do with the whip, where you have that big loud noise at the end of it, because this is just gonna whip through here when you have the crack of the whip, right? So that's why we're seeing a 45% risk zone for winds up here. Let's go over to our wind. That's why you see this 45% wind zone, because this right here, it could easily produce, along with the squall line, 75 plus mile per hour gust or more in here. But the tornado threat is going to have to do more with the discrete cells, the SIG tornadoes. So where we start to see this down here is where we could get some of those really significant tornadoes. Although, again, the SIG tors could be anywhere in this region here. All right. What are these small yellow boxes? Yeah, those are thunderstorm warnings right now. Those are thunderstorm warnings. We've got one tornado warning observed in Jackson, Mississippi. Flash flood emergency, catastrophic. Okay, let's talk about this really quick, guys. I got to put my headphones on because I'm not hearing when this is going off. Flash flood observed. Damage threat, catastrophic down here in southeastern, where are we, Mississippi? 1 second. Appreciate the follows, likes, and subs, guys. Thank you. It helps. Bullet, I appreciate that. Really quickly, we've got a lot going on right now, and it's going to start to intensify, but flash flood emergency. These are very dangerous. These are the worst kind of hazards you can get. So let's push into here really quickly, okay? So, flash flood emergency for northern Jackson County near Wade and north of Van Cleve, Mississippi. All right, so 1:57 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so this was literally, 10 minutes ago. Emergency management reported roads impassable in northern Jackson County. Between 5 to 7 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 2 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing and expected to begin shortly. All right, particularly dangerous situation. Seek high ground now. Emergency management has reported this, and not only do you have a flash flood emergency, but you have a tornado radar. This looks like only an EF0, really, maybe an EF1, but you've got literally a tornado warning and a flash flood emergency. I don't want to laugh, but that's like ridiculous on top of each other right here. So this does not look like an area where very many people live. Some people may be here though, but this is obviously not a major city. We do have Pope Town here. We have Old Americus. That's a cool name. Holly Landing. So anyways, that's going on there. Gulfport, you got a flash flood warning as well. Let's take a look really quickly. We have very, very strong thunderstorms moving into Danville area, Hoopston area, Watseka. We've got some thunderstorms moving into Chicago Metro, Lafayette. These could be some decent thunderstorms moving in up towards Paris. Is that Paris, Illinois, or Paris, Indiana? It's right on the border there. And then we've got some storms starting to fire up down here. I'm worried about southwestern Missouri today, or southeastern Missouri. So we're really going to watch these down here. All right, let me get back to chat and answer your questions. Lots of thunderstorms in Florida as well. And actually, let me just double check up here. We've got potentially some okay snow about to move into Metro Minneapolis. This could be some good snowfall. We'll have to see. All right. Dayton, Ohio. Let's look at your timing-wise for Dayton, Ohio. I'll make this quick so I can answer as many questions as I can. Dayton, Ohio, again, 75 plus mile per hour gusts are possible when this main squall line comes over. You could get some pretty good size hail. Tornadoes are possible. You don't have a super high risk for strong tornadoes. That EF2 plus, EF0, EF1, possible. You know, you're more of a wind hail threat today. A lot of areas in and around Dayton aren't going to see any, but, you know, stay alert. You've got some strong thunderstorms that look like they want to start initiating around 7 p.m. moving through Dayton. Problem is you have this tailing system right here. So it could start at 7 p.m. and it could last a little bit. So 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10, 11, 12, 1. I mean, this could be a 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. thing for Dayton. The worst is probably severe weather-wise going to be 7 to 9 p.m.-ish, give or take an hour for Dayton. St. Louis, yeah, so you've got storms moving over already, but then you're going to have, so this looks to me, and St. Louis, it's still, you know, the HRRR still wants to pull some strong thunderstorms over you, potentially as late as 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., it really does look like a lot of these are going to be to your south. We'll see. Sometimes they initiate farther to the north, so we'll have to keep an eye on it until about at least 6 p.m., but really... and I'm talking Eastern time right now. So, I mean, if we're talking Central, we'll probably want to keep an eye on St. Louis until at least 5 p.m. Central. I should let you guys know I'm talking in Eastern time, shouldn't I? Because this is a lot of this is Central out here. It's an hour off. You guys get it, though. Northern Kentucky. Oh, we got another here. I'll get into Northern Kentucky. Let me just see what's going on here. Around Vermilion, Illinois, Douglas, Illinois, Edgar, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois. We do have quarter-size hail, a possible tornado, 7-mile-per-hour wind gust, damage threat considerable. Also, almost 2-inch hail near San Francisco, Missouri, Washington, Missouri, Jefferson, Missouri, if you're anywhere in that area. Considerable damage threat possible, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Possible tornado near Fountain, Indiana, Warren, Indiana, Vermilion, Indiana, Park, Indiana as well. There's another possible tornado there. 70-mile-per-hour gusts in and around Jasper, Indiana, White, Indiana, Benton, Indiana, Newton, Indiana, and Iroquois, Illinois. We're just going to guess. So there are some possible tornadoes on the ground right now. I'm going to look at these real quick, and then I'll answer that Northern Kentucky thing. Let me just look at where we have possible tornado and see if I think that there's actually one here. So here's the one area. Possible tornado. I don't see. This is potentially concerning here. One might be trying to start here. I don't see it. I think you're pretty good there. But be aware of that. And then we had another possible tornado. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, we have a damage threat destructive. Okay, 80-mile-per-hour wind gust, guys. This is stronger than category 1 strength winds now. So 80+ mile-per-hour wind gusts are being recorded in and around Danville, moving out east towards Lafayette, Indiana, and eventually Indianapolis. This is what we're talking about. Remember when I showed you this, guys, and the wobbliness of this squall line? We now have recorded 80+ mile-per-hour gusts in here, okay? That is going to do some damage to some areas. My issue with these winds is it's not like tornadoes are much thinner. They're much smaller. These 80-mile-per-hour gusts could be taking up a large portion of this squall line here. They can affect a lot more people. So anyone in my chat that's out, especially in this area right now, pay attention, because this is moving off to the east, and this is that tail of the low pressure that we're talking about. That could produce, I mean, we could see above 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts here with this squall line. So pay attention to that. They have it labeled as destructive right here, down just to the north of Paris Strength in Dansville, Georgetown. No problem, Caleb. When does that hit Indy? NCAA tournament playing there currently. Yeah, timing for Indy. Let me actually just get you the exact timing that our latest HRRR thinks. Let's see if I can get it on the 18Z here. So really, you could get some thunderstorms out ahead of it as early as I mean, in an hour, 45 minutes. You could get some thunderstorms ahead of it. The damaging wind is probably more likely to start around 5 p.m. Central for you guys. And then this right here is the biggest concern. So 7 to 8 p.m. You're going to have this pass through. Then you're going to have some thunderstorms. And then you're going to have this secondary line. And then these are eventually going to link up and be one big QLCS boundary. So I would say in the next hour, things are going to start to go downhill in Indiana. But I'm more worried about the 2 to 3 hour time frame there. This time frame right here. And this would be 6 p.m. Central. Let's see here. Sorry, we've got more things going on here. Okay, more severe thunderstorm warnings down there near Mark Twain National Forest, just to the south of Salem, Missouri. God, there's like 1,000 Salems. Again, guys, there's a flash flood emergency and a tornado warning, both down here in southeastern Mississippi. No major towns, cities here, but Holly Landing, Old America's Pope Town down there. Be aware of that. Very strong thunderstorms up there in the panhandle of Florida as well. Joliet, Illinois. Yeah, you guys are fine. You guys have some strong thunderstorms moving in right now that aren't labeled as severe. I'm not surprised they're not labeled as severe. We don't have too crazy of instability up here. Let's take a look at the reflectivity real quick. This does look like a hail core, but this is just the south of Joliet. So, Juliet. Jesus. I was always good at math and science. I was never good at English, guys. We were talking about northern Kentucky earlier. I don't think I ever went. Okay, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that just got put down. Orland Park, Hammond, Tinley Park, Frankfurt, Chicago Heights, Manhattan, and Metro Chicago. That's literally, guys, what I was just talking about. This is literally what I was just talking about, saying this looks like a hail core, and look at the shear in here. Not impossible to get a weak tornado out of this, guys. I don't think we're gonna, but it's not impossible to get a weak tornado out of this. This is hail. That's literally what I just circled, and 2 seconds later they put down the warning. So, again, winds 50, 60, 70 mile per hour gusts possible. I would say decent size hail is possible in here, maybe up to 2 inches. So be aware, and this is going to be moving in towards Metro Chicago. So, someone asked Northern Kentucky again. I'm going as fast as I can. Guys. Let's get into HRRR. All right, where's this one? Okay, we're getting a little bit of initiation down there. Okay, northern Arkansas, and we're getting this down here as well. Okay, let me just get you the timing here. Northern Kentucky, again, Lexington up to Maysville, Cincinnati, Frankfort. I know Cincinnati's in Ohio, but, 10 p.m. to midnight, we're going to see things go really downhill. Okay, this is going to be really late night where we're going to see that worst squall line move through. That's kind of the Nashville timing too, actually. I mean, this would be around 11 p.m. This would be around 11 p.m. Central Time when you could be dealing with SIG tour potential down here and large hail and very, potentially some catastrophic winds up here to the north. We'll have to see. Louisville's going to be a little bit earlier than that. We're going to be really watching Louisville as early as, I would say, we'll have to see if this, let's get this back up here, around 10 p.m. So that would be, maybe around, we'll be watching Louisville around, probably as early as 9 p.m. Central. Let's pull back up our MRMS radar. Okay, we've got more severe thunderstorm warnings that have popped up. Yeah, Cleveland, that's probably going to be closer to, you guys want to look at the timing on Cleveland? Here you go. Here's the timing on Cleveland. Is Cleveland Central Time? Is that a dumb question? Is Cleveland Central Time? I actually don't know. It's not. It's Eastern Time, right? Okay, I thought so. Okay. All right, I'm not crazy. Yeah, Cleveland, things look like they're going to start going downhill around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And you could be dealing with some pretty bad weather until about 4 a.m. Eastern. So that's a pretty long time. The worst, your severe threat's going to be earlier, though. It's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12. After that, it's just going to be thunderstorms till about 4 a.m. Columbus, Ohio, you're a little bit earlier than Cleveland. I'm a little bit worried about this discrete setup. So I would start paying attention in Columbus, Ohio, which I also think is Eastern, but maybe I'm crazy. I would also pay attention to, is the split in Ohio? I've never thought about this. I would also pay attention Columbus, Ohio, closer to 6 p.m. Through, and then this is going to be your severe wind threat. That's going to be your severe wind threat, which is going to be closer to 11 p.m. Give or take an hour, these storms don't move perfect. The timing's never perfect. We keep getting severe thunderstorm warnings popping up everywhere, guys. Really quick. Fountain, Indiana, Warren, Indiana, Vermilion, Indiana, Park, Indiana. Considerable damage to that wind, 70 plus mile per hour gusts possible, and there's a tornado possible there, quarter size hail. Vermilion, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, Edgar, Illinois, Douglas, Illinois. Around that area, 80 plus mile per hour gusts have been recorded. Damage threat, destructive possible. They have the damage threat as destructive right now. They're calling it a destructive storm. Now, I believe it's just out to the east of Champaign, Illinois, though. I think it's just to the east of Champaign, Illinois. Tornado possible in there as well. This is the storm right here that they're talking about, like I just said. And then I want to keep everyone updated on this stuff. Benton, Indiana, Jasper, Indiana, White, Indiana, Newton, Indiana, Iroquois. Considerable damage to that. 70 Iroquois. Someone in chat, tell me how to pronounce that. I'll probably miss it. This is Radar Omega. St. Peter's have a tornado threat. St. Peter's where? There's a lot of St. Peter's. How bad is Owensboro, Kentucky? Owensboro is in a SIG tour potential tonight. So you need to be paying attention in Owensboro tonight. Iroquois? Nice. Okay. All right. All right. Wait, let me see. Oh, this says, wait.
Iroquois.
Google says Iroquois. Whatever. I think it's wrong. That's French. We get down to the bottom of chat. Southern Indiana near Louisville. What's going on, Solar? Southern Indiana near Louisville. Yes. Let me push you over really quickly. Let me show you what we're worried about for you guys. Here we go. You guys are in this, what we call hatched risk for tornadoes. When you see these lines, All these little red lines, EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. EF0 and EF1 can do damage. EF2 plus can be very destructive. That's when we're pushing, those 200 plus mile per hour winds. So, yes, this is our most dangerous tornado potential, guys. Not everyone in here. There's not going to be tornadoes everywhere in here, but this is where there could be destructive tornadoes. Okay, and then this is still a pretty good bounce. This is, this is a 5% here, which is pretty significant as well. You could get them in the green as well. The 5%, and especially the hatched in here, need to pay attention, tornado-wise. Up here near Louisville as well, you're also in that 45% wind risk and in the moderate hail risk. You're just in it all. All right, where's our latest? Where's it happening? Oh, tornado warning on the ground. Okay, here we go, guys. Or tornado warning issued. Radar indicate it. High velocities in here. I don't see a super tight rotation, though. Not bad. Right there. Correlation coefficient. Do we have... This is lagging. I think this is it right there. This looks pretty weak right now. The rotation. But look at this notch. And you can almost see this thing wanting to rotate in here. Let's put this into motion. There it is. You can see it rotating. You guys see this rotating here as it goes forward? See that? This would be your RFD, rear flank and downdraft. This is where you're going to have extremely heavy downpours. This is about to move through Perryville and Covington, Indiana, up towards Attica, Indiana, and right towards Lafayette. If you're in Lafayette, Indiana, I would be on the bottom floor of your house. If you don't have a storm shelter, I'd be on the bottom floor of your house and towards the interior. Get away from windows. Pay attention to this as it gets closer. We'll see if it gets extended. If it does, you're going to want to be in an interior room of your house, closet or something, in a safe spot. There's wind, hail, and potentially this looks like it's about to drop a tornado there. So pay attention to that. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the subs, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Angel, I appreciate that. When does this system get down to Atlanta? This is going to be a morning system for Atlanta. I don't know off the top of my head. I believe it's around like 10 a.m., but let me check for you real quick. When does the worst of this get down there towards Atlanta? Yeah, you can see this right now with the latest HRRR. It's thinking 11 a.m., 12 in the afternoon tomorrow. You could have this would produce some decent, this would probably produce a good amount of QLCSs. QLCS tornadoes. So we'll have to watch that. We do have an enhanced risk now all through this region for tomorrow. So this does look to be a little bit more significant than some of our other severe weather outbreaks for the east. All right. Thoughts on Columbus, Ohio? Your biggest issue or your biggest severe threat today is going to be those winds as we get into the late evening hours. We could have 75 plus mile per hour gusts through here. They have that labeled as destructive winds possible up there in central and western Ohio. Can't rule out a tornado, can't rule out hail, but really those winds look like they're going to be cranking through Columbus later. And unlike hail and tornadoes, which are more localized, winds are typically, this wind event is going to be along a big boundary like this. So you're going to have a lot more people who are likely to be affected by the winds, whereas hail falls in a little area, tornado goes through a little area, and a lot of people dodge it. Winds are going to be associated with a long area of that squall line. So it's definitely a bigger area. It's going to affect a lot more people. It's more likely to affect a lot more people, The line between Eastern and Central time zones, most of Indiana is Eastern, except a small area close. Oh, okay. Okay, so is it here? For some reason, I thought my mind was telling me it was here. But that wouldn't make much sense. Why? God, I haven't looked at my time zones in a while. Oh, yeah, you're right. Guys, I found my weak point, my time zones. It's like that. Something like that. Alabama. Something like that. All right. Another severe thunderstorm warning. Ping pong size hail. 60-mile-per-hour gusts possible. This is moving out towards Mount Vernon, Illinois. Just to the south, a little bit to the south of St. Louis. The sun is shining so bright here in Muncie, Indiana. It feels spooky. That is spooky. That's going to cause some instability. Let me look at it. Yeah. Yeah. That's not too good. Look at you. Look at you guys. Wait, let me see if I can see you. Hello? Look up in the sky. Can you see me? I'm just kidding. There's some clearing in the clouds here. Yeah. Here's our cyclone, guys. You see this bad boy spinning? Here's the low pressure. Cyclone just means winds are rotating inwards. This tail that's being produced right here is going to bring us crazy winds out here. Alabama Georgia line is yeah. Oh, right here. Because I do know, I grew up in Florida. I do know that the like western panhandle over here is central. Tallahassee's eastern. All of Alabama's CSA. Okay. I haven't thought about time zones in so long. And it's weird because I do this forecasting all the time. A lot of the times, though, when I'm out here, it's all central. But, you know, when we're talking about when we're crossing over this line, I do have to be a little bit more careful about central and eastern when I'm labeling the times. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust possible. Damage threat considerable. Tornado possible up here in northwestern Indiana. This is going to be near Valparaiso. I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Portage, South Haven, and Chesterton. Wheatfield as well. We've got this band of thunderstorms moving out there. I think the big issue with this is going to be the wind threat and possible hail moving up there. It does say a possible tornado. Let's see if we have what type of rotation we have up here. We do have some strong velocities and what looks to be, I mean, we do have some high velocities and good wind shear through here. So I can see a tornado trying to get on the ground. Wow. Look at this. Look at this correlation coefficient in here, guys. Anyone in Oxford right now? This looks like this may be a radar distortion. This may be a radar distortion, but this could be some hail in here, guys. I think that's some hail in here. All right. Shepherdsville, Kentucky. You guys are in that hatch zone. EF2 pluses are possible. You're in a 45% risk for high winds, so 75, 80 plus mile per hour gusts are possible. You could also see some 2-3 inch hail. You're not guaranteed to see any of that. You could see none of that. Well, the wind, I think you're going to see strong winds with I think the winds are almost guaranteed. Strong winds, strong gusts with the squall line tonight, but hail and tornadoes aren't guaranteed, but you're definitely in the watch area for that. So you need to have weather alerts on tonight. Your timing, that's just south of Louisville. We've kind of talked about this a few times, but some discrete cells moving over earlier in the day. So this would be 5 p.m. Central Time. And then, or 5 p.m., sorry. This would be 5 p.m. Eastern. And then that biggest wind, this is probably your most significant timing of threat. It's going to be 10 p.m. Tonight through about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. Louisville and to the south of Louisville down towards Elizabethtown. All right, we've got a tornado warning right up here. Here we go, guys. Radar indicate it. There it is, probably right there. Let me look at a couple different radars here. Base velocity. This to me looks like a funnel cloud, but I don't think there's a tornado on the ground. But treat it as there is one because it could touch down any second. These things can happen quick. So out here, Shelby, Hebron. I'm gonna pronounce this like it's LeBron with an H. So Hebron. This is heading up to the northeast. This is definitely a hail core here. Getting a safe spot up there. Bottom floor interior, your home. And again, we are still watching this, and we have some good inflow here, and I'm concerned about this. Petersburg heading up towards Newton, Indiana. This does look like at least an EF1, EF0 is on the ground there. So be aware of that. Funnel clouds don't have to touch the ground. No, they don't have to touch the ground. But what I'm saying is, you can have a funnel cloud, and if you have a funnel cloud and you have a rotating supercell or rotating thunderstorm above your head, it's not necessarily going to drop a tornado. Now, it'll probably have much gustier winds and damaging winds potentially on the surface, but funnel clouds don't always drop tornadoes. Monticello, Indiana, it's starting. Trying to find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're about 30 to 45 minutes away from this main wind event. And this storm is producing some tornadoes as well, so pay attention if you're in Monticello. 70 mile per hour gusts or above. Considerable damage threat. Tornado possible just out to the west of Indianapolis right now. Guys, this thing is starting to produce. This is starting to produce. Why is this not working? Come on, Radar Omega. Too many people have gotten on this lately. and it's bothering me. All right. Come on. Let me see what's going on. We still have destructive winds out here. 1 second, guys. Radar Omega's just doing whatever it wants right now. Give me a second. I need to get in here and see this. 1 second. There we go. Let's look at this. These things are moving. Let's look at this. You got some good shear in here. Not seeing super crazy tornado potential in here right now, but this main squall. Look at this cutting back and forth. This right here is still concerning me. That notch right there. Super strong winds associated with this, guys, moving out to the east towards Indianapolis. Lafayette. Really just central to northern Indiana right now. We're going to start to see more initiation, guys, down here to the south soon. What we have going on up here, this is going to initiate down here soon. But, I mean, western Indiana is just feeling it. Western Indiana, really central to northern Indiana right now, is feeling it. Just lost contact. Just lost contact with my family that just left Illinois heading towards Williamsport, Indiana. Well, the good news is the worst weather looks to be almost done passing through Williamsport, maybe within the next 30 to 45 minutes. We could see some more back here. That's going to move up to the north. But out behind it to the west in Illinois, it looks pretty clear. Tornado warning for Lafayette. There is no tornado warning in Lafayette right now, but there is likely tornado watches out there ahead of it. Your tornado warning's down to your south, and yes, we've been talking about this. It's still radar indicated, but it looks... Look at this notch here, guys. This looks decent. This could be some debris. So, this looks like it just passed Petersburg. or Petersburg, and it's heading up to the northeast toward Shadeland and Lafayette. Owensboro, you're Kentucky. Oh, you're Kentucky. You're good. Owensboro, Kentucky, you're good for a little bit. I've talked about Owensboro, Kentucky, Louisville a few times already, and this stuff isn't initiating until at least, Owensboro probably 9 p.m. at the earliest for you guys out there. So, all right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Just lost you in Attica, Indiana. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. You guys probably had some really, really strong winds pulling through out there. Let's check this tornado warning up here to the north. Look at that. Large hail possible just to the north of Shelby. Northwest of Shelby. Not seeing the best rotation. Hail definitely. That might expire. We'll have to see. This, it's looking like we have something down here, but let me just double check on here. Yeah, so Lake, Indiana, Newton, Indiana, Jasper, Indiana, Fountain, Indiana, Montgomery, Indiana, Tippecanoe, Tippecanoe, Indiana. Radar indicated tornadoes. Neither of them look crazy significant. This one down here moving towards Lafayette does look like it has potential to get pretty strong. So treat them seriously. Again, Fountain, Indiana, Warren, Indiana, Vermilion, Indiana, Park, Indiana. Destructive damage threat, 80 plus mile per hour winds recorded, and a tornado possible in that area as well. Vermilion, Illinois, Edgar, Illinois, 70 mile per hour wind gusts or above. We're watching White, Indiana, Jasper, Indiana, Benton, Indiana, Newton, Indiana, 70 plus mile per hour wind gusts possible. We have a lot going on right now, guys. Let me go back to MRMS real quick. Please, Columbus, Michigan. I'm terrified. My house is not built. Where's Columbus? Well, you guys aren't. Let's go look at Columbus, Michigan. You guys aren't in a terrible area. 2% tornado risk. You might still be in a decent wind risk, though. You are up there in that 30 to 45% wind risk. So you could have some very, very strong winds associated with this squall line moving through. At and around, this would be your timing here. So around 8 to 9 p.m., give or take an hour. But your tornado risk is pretty low. Keep weather alerts on, though, just to be safe. Stay up to date on that. My throat's hurting. All right. 631 people in here. Jay, I appreciate that. Faith, I appreciate that. Nora, what's going on? Tara, Hillbilly, Big E, Angel. Princeton, Indiana, very humid and sunny here. Where's Princeton, Indiana? Let's see. Princeton, Indiana. Yeah, you guys are in that SIG-TOR area. You guys have a possibility of seeing significant tornadoes, large hail, and strong winds today. This area, this is a big area of concern right there that I circled. Really, for SIG-TORs, is going to be through this region here. You guys, yeah, you guys are probably looking at initiation more closer to 6 p.m. You got some time. But sunny skies out ahead of this stuff is never good. That's for sure. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yeah, you guys got a little bit of time. Let's look at your timing for Fort Wayne, Indiana. 6-7 p.m. That's when you could see destructive type winds moving through with this squall line. Hopefully not. Hopefully this downtrends a little bit, but it looks like it could be pretty significant winds moving through at that time. We'll have to watch some QLCS tornadoes associated with this as well and large hail. Definitely. One second, guys. I've been nonstop talking for an hour and 6 minutes, so give me a second. Give me a second, guys. 2 seconds. One second. One second, guys. Sorry, chat back. 100 people left me. 100 people left me. I'm back. I'm gonna answer your questions, okay? Hey, could someone tell me how many people are in Mesomat's chat since it's a competition? It's not really a competition. I just constantly pretend like it is, guys. It's not really a competition. Listen, I enjoy doing this. I would be doing it if there were 10 people in here. And I was at the beginning when I first started streaming. It was perfectly fine. It's actually a little bit stressful when there's a lot of people in stream because I hate not being able to answer everyone's questions, and it's impossible when there's just many people in here. But I do appreciate the support, and I do hope that I'm giving you guys some good information. Well, I know I'm giving you good information, but I hope I hope it's going to help certain people in here. Chan, Jennifer, Nora. Chan, I appreciate you. All right? Okay, let me just take a sip of this, and we're going to get back to answering all your questions. This tornado warning, gone. This one's probably about to expire. Radar indicated 13 minutes. We'll be back down to just severe thunderstorm warnings. Meridian, Mississippi. I see you. Is that my sub? Lee, what's going on? I got you. 1 second. Ray and Face, I appreciate that. Marvelous confetti. Thank you, guys. Here. Meridian, Mississippi. What's going on, Lee? I've been a mess. We haven't even been in the 70s all year up here in Philly. We got up to 80 yesterday. Everything's blooming. And my body's like, and we're back. And then we woke up today back in like the high 30s, low 40s. The weather is just screwing with my sinuses and everything. I know a lot of you feel that way. Yeah, Meridian, Mississippi. Let's look at the timing of this real quick. I'm going to start answering questions as quick as I can. I might not go into looking into details because I want to try to do speed round and answer as many questions as I can. Timing for Meridian. Look at this. Look at this beast of a QLCS. Guys, when I say QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. Squall line. A frontal boundary. QLCS is easier and more fun to say. And that's what the meteorological term. And these are 9 out of 10 times associated with very strong winds. And then hail is the second most likely, and then your QLCS tornadoes are tornadoes within the squall line. They're typically not as strong as what we call like a discrete setup, discrete cells out ahead. When you have like popcorn cells out here like this, because they have to share. There's inflow coming into this, which is what helps fuel these storms, and they have to share that energy along the squall line. So you don't get as intense. Whereas if you have a storm by itself, it's gonna take all the energy around it, and you can get those big tornadoes. But yeah, meridian 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. early in the morning. There could be some strong winds with this. There could be some hail, and potentially some tornadoes as well. We expect a SIG tours up here. Not expecting any major tornadoes down here, which is good. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. But yeah, 7, 8 a.m., give or take an hour, you could have very, very strong winds and potentially some hail moving through that region. No problem, Lee. Appreciate you being in here. Let's see. Let me get back up here. MMRS. Okay, let me try to do some quick answers. If I don't know exactly where your city is, I'm going to skip over it for a second, but then I'll get back to it. Chan, I appreciate the sub. Shout out, Chan. I appreciate that. Okay. Dude, pollen is so bad right now. Oh, God, it's fucking terrible. I can't. Does Lorraine have a threat for nocturnal tornadoes? Okay, fine. I'll look it up. Are you talking about Ohio? I can't see another one. Yeah, timing with that up there. Let's quickly go into our latest HRRR. Guys, we like the HRRR. This is the 18Z HRRR. High resolution rapid refresh model. It's a great short range model. Once we get into within a day to 48 hours, 2 days, we start looking at our short range models. Your threat for wind and tornadoes that could become as early as 9, 10, 11, 12. So between 9 p.m. and 12, I'd be paying attention up there. So could be, yes, when the sun's down. But, hopefully things are looking better after midnight. You could still have some thunderstorms. Your severe threat should be over. You were right about these winds. Jesus. Gretch, where are you? Where are you? Cindy, I appreciate that. 1 second. I'm going to go back up here in the chat. All right. 1 second. Tornado alarms are going on at Purdue, West Lafayette. Not surprised. It doesn't look like we have a tornado on the ground there right now, but there's a storm capable of producing tornadoes there, which is the problem. Appreciate you sharing the lively. Sun is trying to come out in Dayton, Ohio. Don't let it come out. Don't let it come out. Melissa, I appreciate you following the live. 1 second. I'm just going back up in chat real quick, guys. 1 second. Crystal, appreciate you sharing the live. Okay. Gretchen, I might have missed where you were. Bowling Green and Fort Wayne, Indiana. I saw those. We're going to go over those real quickly. Let's go over the timing. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Again, your biggest threat is these, 75 plus mile per hour gusts as this thing moves through. It looks to be around 6, 7 p.m. Eastern. Give or take an hour. These things are weird. We'll see if you get this second line that wants to move up through there. But 6, 7 p.m., hail and winds. Definitely a possibility. It is a possibility to get a QLCS type tornado up there, which can be a little bit destructive. So have weather alerts on. Most likely you'll be perfectly fine, but pay attention around that time tonight. And then we were talking about Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yes, Bowling Green, I would say SIG tours are possible. So EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. They're more likely than not going to affect you, but it's possible. So Melissa. And Jan, I appreciate you. Jessica, thank you for the sub. Bowling Green, right around 11 p.m. tonight. This is the split. This is the split of the... Okay, this is Eastern, and then Western goes like this. So I think you're Central Time. Bowling Green, confirm. Are you Central Time? This is 11 p.m. Eastern, so I think this is 10 p.m. Central Time when things really start to go downhill in Bowling Green, and you're really going to want to be paying attention tonight. So sun's going to be down. Terry Britt Beck, I appreciate that. Jessica, thank you for the sub. Right in the middle of Lafayette and Fort Wayne. Yeah, the timing for you guys. Let's pull this back a little bit. If you're right between there, that's 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky, we've gone over a lot, guys. I would say your biggest threat's going to be Louisville does have some SIG-TOR potential, so strong winds, big hail, and SIG-TOR. Most likely, you're not going to see a significant tornado. We're just saying this is a possibility. I don't want to scare anyone. A lot of times, when you have these what we call significant tornado setup, EF2 plus, you don't get a ton, and they don't affect a lot of people. But you need, it's better to be, it's better to be prepared and paying attention. So no need to worry, but just stay alert and have a plan. You know what I mean? Louisville, right there, around 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. So yeah, right now I have the wind. So there's difference. Someone asked what are these colors? This is the wind risk zone. This is right here a 4 out of 5 wind threat, basically. This is a high wind threat. So there's 100% chance of destructive winds in here. Meaning, 80 miles, 70, 80 mile per hour plus wind gusts in here. But this is a 45% wind risk zone, meaning, over half the people in here aren't going to see those destructive gusts. But, 40 to 45% of people in here could see some destructive gusts of winds. Now, destructive, it's not going to blow your house over or anything like that. Trees, power lines could be an issue. You could get a little damage to roofs sometimes with these squall lines. But it's more likely, these wind threats affect a lot more people because, again, they're associated with the squall line, and hail and tornadoes more of a localized threat. They don't affect as many people. So I get a little bit concerned with this, because you have to imagine. So if we take a look at the HRRR here, you see this is a big. We're going to have those destructive winds in a lot of areas of this squall line. So again, this is in tornadoes could a significant tornado could flatten a house. These winds can do damage, but they're not going to be, as long as you're inside, they're not going to be like a major threat to life or anything like that. But it's something you want to pay attention to. But that's our wind threat. This is our tornado threat. And where you see these dashed lines in this black outline here, we do have another tornado warning down here. I'm going to go over that in a second. This is where you could get significant tornadoes, EF2 plus, and then we also have our hail. I need to talk about this tornado warning. We also have our hail threat. We also have our hail threat, which is right here. And this is where we could see what we call gorilla hail, grapefruit size hail, 4-inch plus. So, all right, tornado warning down on the ground, southern Illinois, right to the west of Mount Vernon, right to the southwest of Centralia, and $50 size hail. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in here. Radar indicate it. That's probably it. Those velocities look good. Don't know if this is on the ground. Looks like a weak EF0, EF1 right now. Just to the north of Nashville, Illinois. Nashville, Illinois. Heading out towards the east, towards Irvington and Centralia. Right now, it doesn't look like a super strong tornado, but again, these can intensify quickly. I would get into a safe spot if you're out here ahead of this right now and pay attention because this could be intensifying. We do have some big hail in here. It looks like good size hail core. Okay. My grandma is afraid of storms. I can't get a hold of her. Boone Trey. Are you messing with me? Are you messing with me? There is a severe thunderstorms moving over the area. Now, this is your typical, ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. This isn't a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is your average type severe thunderstorm warning. We didn't see any tornadoes pass through this area, so there could be a little bit of damage from winds and small hail in and around grandma's place there, but she should be safe. She should be perfectly safe if she's inside. We don't see anything too bad. There was some good size hail here and some gusty winds, but nothing that would Should have done really harm to anyone. Was getting gnarly in Central Florida a bit there. Yeah, you guys are just in a general thunderstorm today, but there's a lot of thunderstorm activity down here, and it's going to continue. We were watching this radar. These storms are moving north, and then they're going to move southeast. We were looking at this yesterday. Florida's weird, and I know because I lived there for 22 years. But watch as these storms move north, and then back down to the south. They were moving north today, and then they're going to move down to the southeast. And then you've got, I mean, there's just the motion of these storms. Look at this. The motion of these storms down here in Florida are very awkward today. We still do have this flash flood emergency down here, guys. Observed flash flooding, catastrophic damage threat down here in southeastern Mississippi, and it has expanded off to the east. Not a lot of big towns out here, but Hurley is in this. Hurley, Mississippi. Those are dangerous situations. Let's take a look. Do we have any updates on our tornado warning here in, where are we? Southeastern Illinois. I think Southern Illinois. I get lost because I'm scrolling around the map so much sometimes where I'm like, what state am I in? Radar Omega is giving me an issue, so I'll go back to chat for a second while we wait for that to update. Do you know the tornado risk on Tuesday? Yeah, I mean, we can look at it. That's going to be our day 3. Right here. I believe that's our day, or is that our day? I believe that's our day 3. Now, this. So this is Wednesday into Thursday. This Wednesday into Thursday. I don't know if I should say what I'm going to say. I don't want to freak people out. The CSU has a high hatched risk for severe weather in here. This Wednesday, Thursday, through this region could way eclipse this event today, and this event could be decent. The CSU is thinking that this Wednesday, Thursday, this area is going to see potentially one of the worst severe outbreaks of the year. There's time for it to downtrend, okay? Because we're out at like a day 3, day 4 still, so we're really not even in our short ranges yet. And let's hope it downtrends. This will be my video tomorrow. I have to talk about this tomorrow. I didn't want to talk about it too much because we have this going on, but these people out here, Ohio Valley, Deep South, Tennessee Valley, you guys can't get a break right now. We could have Wednesday, Thursday, and then potentially the weekend as well. There looks to be a train of severe weather really through this area over to kick off April. All right, sorry. Let me get back to chat. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. I'll get back to it. Give me a second. I have our wind threat on right now. Yeah, timing for Dayton, Ohio again. I'll show this again. HRRR. Here's Dayton. Thunderstorm activity starting to ramp up around 6 p.m. Eastern, but your wind threat, that potential destructive wind threat, looks to be closer to 9-10 p.m. tonight. Big hail is possible. 2-inch plus hail is possible. 80-plus mile-per-hour gusts are possible. Your SIG-TOR potential looks to be to your south. Low chance of getting a strong tornado, EF2+. Not impossible, but if you do see tornadoes up here, you're more likely going to see EF0, EF1s associated with the squall line QLCS tornadoes. Definitely have weather alerts on tonight after the sun goes down in Dayton. Definitely. Let me take a sip of this. My allergy issues are making it hard for me to breathe. And talking quickly on stream does not help. Melissa, I appreciate you. Chan, Lion, Terry. Let me just pull something up. Let's see here.
I thought I saw it. You are in a risk as well, yes. Yeah, y'all are in the enhanced
We're on
risk.
Mesomatch
All those
stream,
three weather
guys.
are possible.
Okay. I checked on to see what's going on in Mesomat stream. If you guys don't know, I'm part of that team. MESOMATT. MESOMATT. I'm going to take a break here in a little bit and then get back on. I'm going to be covering this. I'm not taking a break right now. I'll be on for a little bit. But I'll be on all day. He's great. He's great if you want to follow him too. He covers all this full time. What's up, Clowny? Bruh. How's Cincinnati? Cincinnati timing with the worst weather looks to be between 10 p.m. and midnight. Again, you are in that potential destructive wind zone. Big hail's possible. Less likely to see destructive tornadoes, although you want to keep your weather alerts on. It's not impossible. It's less likely. Be aware of that. Michigan. Oh, you got to give me an area in Michigan. Southern Michigan from Flint down. Grand Rapids out to Flint and south looks to be the biggest issue or concern for severe weather. Ann Arbor is in, because Ann Arbor's right in here, right? Yeah, Ann Arbor is in that destructive wind zone. So if you want to talk about timing, and again, that could be 80 plus mile per hour gusts. So be aware of that. Not impossible to get a QLCS small tornado up there. That timing looks to be 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. This could speed up or slow down a little bit. So not impossible around that time to get some hail, very strong winds, and we'll see a weak tornado. Isn't impossible that far north. So keep up to date on that. I'm expecting this area. I'm expecting, again, southeastern Missouri to really kick off here soon. All right, let's get back down in here and just try to get an update on this tornado warning that it wasn't giving me before. Okay. Base velocity, storm relative velocity. Not seeing anything insane in here. We could have an EF1, EF0. It's hard to even tell if you have a tornado on the ground. But there's rotation and high velocities in here. So I'd still treat it like we have a tornado on the ground in here if you're in Irvington out towards Centralia, Illinois. It's not looking like we got a mega tornado or anything on the ground here. It's looking pretty weak. But again, these things can produce quickly. You can go from nothing to something pretty big on the ground pretty quickly. So better safe than sorry. Indiana. Western, central, northern. This area up here is seeing some destructive winds along this boundary here. And Logansport, you're next. Indianapolis. We'll have to see. We're going to start to see. This tail might take longer to move through Indianapolis. Lebanon, here it comes. Kokomo, Logansport, Rochester, South Bend. This is moving towards you. This is destructive wind. So, not all of it. Not all of it. Considerable. You got 70 mile per hour gusts out here. So, Cat 1 type gusts out here. Some of this, you're going to have. It's not going to be that bad, but there are some winds in here that are considered destructive. So when I say destructive, again, it's not going to flatten your house, but it can knock your power out and take some branches down and make a mess. But that's what they label it as, destructive, once you get over that 80 mile per hour mark. Notification said, violation detected. End live now to avoid suspension. Yeah, you're a troll, so I'm going to block you. Thank you. Melissa and Melissa. Thank you again. Two Melissas. Cincy, Ohio. Did I answer that for you, Jake? Yes. I did answer Southwest Ohio a lot. Strong winds and hail is your biggest issue. It's not impossible to get a significant tornado in Cincinnati. Most of that looks like it's going to be to the southwest, though. New tornado warning. Guys, are you hearing any sound on here? I'm going to close and reopen Radar Omega because it's not working properly. When these events are happening, more and more people have learned about Radar Omega, and it's great and it's bad at the same time. I've been using this for a long time, and it's never been this glitchy. I think their servers have issues with all the people that are getting on it now. North, Judson, and Knox, Indiana, tornado warning. Let's dive into here. Okay, definitely a good hail core in there. Little notch. Could have some good, decent inflow. Velocities aren't bad. I don't see... hard to tell. Doesn't look like there's a tornado on the ground right now, but treat it like there is. I always say that. Really turbulent air up here, by the way. Near Wanata, out to the east of Valparaiso. Valparaiso. I'm probably pronouncing all this wrong. But yeah, North Judson, Knox heading up to the northeast towards Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, North Liberty. Tornado warning, radar indicated. Doesn't look major right now, but there's strong winds and hail in here, and we could see this thing really spin up. So pay attention if you're out there. Just to double check on this bad boy down here. Looks to be okay, but let's get a double check. Again, I don't see a super destructive tornado on the ground right now with this, but pay attention to it moving to the northeast towards Centralia still. What does Cleveland, Ohio look like later? Here's your timing for Cleveland, Ohio. Paige and Tony, appreciate you. Here's your timing for Cleveland, Ohio. 9, 10, 11 p.m. I'd be paying attention out there. Eastern time, 9, 10, 11 p.m. Cleveland, Ohio. There we go. Okay, that was annoying. We have 35 alerts right now. Let's see. Miami-Dade, Florida. Tornado warning. Okay, this is not in Miami-Dade, but I guess it technically is Miami-Dade County. This is the Everglades. Ooh. Okay. Radar Omega's not giving me any velocities down here. I'm going to lose my mind. There we go. Okay. Okay, it's out in the middle of nowhere. This is what we call anyone in South Florida. Okay, let's test our chat's knowledge. I know my Floridians know what this is called here. What do we call this, my Floridians? What do we call this area right here? Let me see if someone in chat knows. What do we call this area in South Florida, my Floridians? Or anyone who knows about Florida, South Florida? Alligator Alley. That's right. Nice, Austin. This is Alligator Alley. There's one road, basically, to get from eastern Florida down here over to western Florida. And it's a long, straight road through flat swamps. And a lot of times you can see 10, 15, 20 alligators laying on the side of the road as you make the drive. They're all over the place. Alligator Alley. All right, let's get back up here. How bad is it going to be later for Cleveland, Ohio? Cleveland, again, biggest issue is going to be the wind threat. Now, you're not even in this 30%. You're in a 15% threat. But it's possible to get 60, 70 mile per hour plus gusts out here with some small hail. You guys aren't in a major threat for tornado, hail, or wind, but you're in a kind of like a moderate. I'm not talking about actual moderate, but mild to moderate threat for it. So, I would keep your weather alerts on as the sun goes down out there in Cleveland, Ohio. East Tennessee. You guys are in that Knoxville down to Chattanooga, kind of 15 to 30% wind risk zone down here. As we move into tornado, you're out into 10%, 2 to 10%, and then hail. Not too high of a chance for you out there. So timing wise, it's going to be in the morning hours out there in Eastern Tennessee. So you can see likely closer to 3, 4 a.m. There it is. So, yeah, could even be a little bit later. 6, 7, 8 a.m. moving through Eastern Tennessee. Not the most dangerous setup through here. We're going to see these storms re-amplify out here as the sun comes up. That's why we got it enhanced out there on the East Coast. Philly, yeah, we can go into our day 2 real quick here. Here's our day 2. We do have a slight all the way up here to Albany, New York. Here's our enhanced down here. So some strong winds and hail are possible out here, and some potentially decent QLCS tornadoes down here. Maybe even a SIGTOR down here. We'll see. It's going to be tough to get a SIGTOR down there. But with our day 2, we also have... So here's our tornado watch right here. Here's our slight 15% tornado risk here. We do have a 2% all the way up there to the north, and then we got a 10% out here as well. Tony, I appreciate that. Let me get back to our normal radar. We've got, look at this line of storms here. Let me just take another look. If you're on Marion, Illinois, we have almost 2-inch hail. Clay, Illinois, Richland, Jasper, and Effingham, Illinois. Considerable damage threat, 2-inch hail. Around Porter and Jasper, Indiana. Possible tornado, considerable damage threat, 70+ mile per hour winds. Possible tornado, considerable damage threat, 70+ mile per hour winds. Cass, Indiana, Fulton, Miami, Pulaski, White, Marshall, and Stark, Indiana. Those are all Indiana. That's not Miami, Florida. Possible tornado, considerable damage threat, 70+ mile per hour winds around St. Joseph, Indiana. Berry and LaPorte, Marshall, Stark, and Pulaski, Indiana. I know I'm pronouncing some of this wrong. Forgive me. Look at this, guys. Look at this line. This is what we were talking about. This is our tail here that's whipping through. I do think the SIG-TOR potential starts soon down in this area. Give it an hour, maybe less. I live in Virginia and work in North Carolina. When's it supposed to be bad? When I get off, I'm scared. No need to be scared. It's not going to be as bad out there in the east. You should be absolutely petrified if you're over here. No, I'm just kidding, guys. There's no reason to be scared. I'm just kidding. So your timing out there in Virginia, this squall line will start making it into. Let me go back to the 18C. I like how you spelled Michigan with an S. Start making it into Western Virginia. Not West Virginia, but Western Virginia around 5 a.m. Eastern. And look, a lot of that looks to dissipate and then re-intensify at around 4 to 5 p.m. We start moving a decent squall line into Central Virginia. 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. It's moving off the coast. Now, there is a threat for tornadoes here. We're not expecting a big tornado outbreak. We're not expecting gorilla hail. We're not expecting 80 mile per hour winds. Typical severe weather day. It's a little bit more severe than your typical severe weather day. No reason to be nervous. Stay weather alert, but there's not going to be a ton of destructive severe weather with this. There could be some, but the odds, it's not. There's not a super high chance that you're affected by it. Just stay weather alert, and you'll be perfectly fine. Let me X out of that. 30K likes. I appreciate it, guys. Let's recheck in on this tornado warning up here. Radar indicated knocks. I don't think it's doing much, but I want to check on it just to be safe. 14 minutes. I think this might expire. It's looking messy. There's not going to be a bunch of inflow with all this going on down to its south. Yeah, I mean, there's rotation up here, but it doesn't look like a tornado's on the ground. It could be. I'd still be in a safe place if I was in Plymouth or Knox or Northern Liberty or even up towards South Bend. We'll see. Right now, Knox out towards Plymouth, Walkerton. There is probably a little bit of destructive wind associated with that line. Oh, you spelled it right this time, so I'll tell you. Detroit, Michigan. I'm just messing with you. Timing for this. There you go, 8, 9 p.m. Give or take an hour. Like I always say, these things speed up and slow down. You could have destructive wind gusts, 80+ mile per hour, and some big hail. Tornado chances aren't crazy up here. Even if you do get a tornado, it's likely EF0 or EF1, but I would have weather alerts on. I'd be paying attention. Detroit, you could see some the wind threat's the most significant for you guys up there after the sun goes down. Also, Wanata is Wanata. Okay, got it. Wanata. I almost said it like Wanada, like Canada, but Wanada. Okay, Valparaiso is pronounced Valparaiso. Valparaiso. Okay, good. Just moved from there in October. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. 1 second. Hold up here. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat. Give me 2 seconds. I'm fixing something on my end. Just call it Valpo. The natives do. Okay. Well, I'm not a native. I don't want to get yelled at. They're like, "Who's this guy calling it Valpo?" No, I'll call it Valpo. That's easier. I'll know that in the future. Give me a second. My chats are on top of each other, and I'm trying to adjust them so I can see you guys better. Okay. Danny, Sellersburg, Indiana. The timing for today and tonight, Sellersburg, right? Let's take a look. With that main potential damaging squall line looks to be. Are you guys Eastern? You guys are right on the border. You guys are right on the border, Eastern and Central. I think you're Eastern though. So that looks to be about 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern. So you could get. I'm worried about a discrete setup out ahead of this storm. So I'd be paying attention as early on as 7 or 8 p.m. 8 p.m. things could start to actually go downhill. Your main wind hail event probably closer to 9, 10 p.m. But 8 p.m. to midnight, it's going to be messy there in Sellersburg. Fishers, Indiana. Fishers, Indiana. Jeez. Timing for you guys. Timing for Fishers, Indiana. Soon. I mean, you could have some thunderstorms moving in very shortly, but your main event could be closer to, I would say, 5 or 6 Eastern. But then you have another squall line right behind here because you have this first one and then you have a secondary one that wants to connect to it. So really from 5 p.m. all the way on, because this second wave here, this second frontal boundary right here could affect you guys. So 5 to 8, 5 to 9 p.m. I'd be weather alert out there. For severe, you could get storms after 8 p.m., but they probably wouldn't be severe. Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, look at you guys. Wow, this stuff really wants to... Okay, so right here, 8, 9 p.m. We're seeing initiation of storms down there as early as 8 p.m. I would say like 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. We'll want to pay attention down there around Little Rock. And again, you guys in Little Rock you're just south of the Sigtor area, so I'd be paying attention. Could see Sigtor potential down there. Hail and wind's another factor for you guys down there in Little Rock. It definitely is. Lots of flash flood warnings in Panhandle of Florida, from the western Panhandle of Florida through South Alabama and southern Mississippi, guys. So, causing a lot of flooding down there. 1 second. I gotta stretch. I'm hurting. Sometimes, yes. Yeah, Vanish. Sometimes storms intensify as the sun sets because the upper atmosphere cools, and that creates more instability at the surface and more ability for those air parcels to rise and ignite or build, release that energy into these thunderstorms. We also don't love tornadoes on the ground when no one can see them. Julie, what's going on? Mac, I appreciate you. Madam with like 1,000 GGs. Mac, appreciate you again. Mac with the roses. Thank you, guys. Why can't I hear myself? Oh, it's because I'm not talking to the mic. Yeah, there's a tornado warning, but it's oh, is there another one? No, the tornado warning's out in the Everglades. There are some flash flood warnings, though, in and around Miami. This tornado warning is out in the Everglades. Alligator Alley, as we call it. And it looks like it's going to expire as well. So I think we're safe there. If you're driving on Alligator Alley, I'd probably be careful. I mean, this is like a little bit of a notch here. Interesting, huh? Maybe this won't expire. Maybe this won't expire. 1 second. There's a tornado on the ground in there. All right. There is. Okay. Let's get back up here. Look at all these severe thunderstorm warnings. Radar. Okay, this is probably going to expire. The tornado warning up there to the north. Akron, Ohio, please. I'm home alone. Well, don't tell people you're home alone. Isn't that where LeBron's from? LeBron. Yeah, timing for you looks to be around 9, 10 p.m. Things are going to go downhill. You could get more damaging winds closer to 11 p.m. Again, strong winds and hail are possible. Tornadoes are possible. You're less likely to have a significant damaging tornado up there. Wind and hail is an issue. You know, you're not... There's worse places to be than Akron tonight. Okay, let's say that. But I would be paying attention after the sun goes down tonight and stay weather alert, because it is possible to have any sort of these bad conditions up there. Wind's probably the most serious threat for you right now. This tornado warning is going to expire. We don't see one up here. I'm still not hearing sound. Let me go back into my settings real quick. This is really annoying. All my alarms are on. Radar Omega's just not working. And it's making me so mad, guys. Give me a second. This always happens when too many people get on here. Frustrating. Just to really quickly go over where the most destructive severe weather is right now. 70 mile per hour winds and a tornado possible. Damage threat considerable around Fulton, Indiana, Stark, Cass, Miami, Indiana, Pulaski, Indiana, Marshall, Indiana. We've also got Effingham, Illinois, Richland, Illinois, Jasper, Illinois, Clay, Illinois, St. Joseph, Indiana. This is also a tornado possible area. 70 plus mile per hour winds. Berrien, Indiana, St. Joseph, Indiana, LaPorte, Marshall, Stark. 2-inch hail is being recorded around Ozark and Howell, Missouri. When I see big hail like that, I do worry about tornadoes because that means you have strong updrafts. Randolph, Illinois, and St. Genevieve, Missouri. Close to 2-inch hail, considerable damage at 60 plus mile per hour gusts. Missouri is getting some big hail. Again, that's a sign we could see some tornado initiation down there shortly. We'll see. Hey, is anyone in Minneapolis? Is it snowing yet? Is anyone in Minneapolis? Look at Radar Omega not even showing cities right now. Guys, they need to fix their server load. There's so many people on here right now that Radar Omega doesn't even know how to act. Is it snowing in the Twin Cities? Because if it's not, it's probably gonna. I appreciate the follows, appreciate the subs, appreciate the gifts, appreciate all the guys just being here to support it. I'm gonna try to do a speed round here and answer as many questions as I can. Julie and Devin, I appreciate you guys. Julie, I hope everything's going good for you. You guys do have you are in a slight risk tonight. So, and this is going to be a nocturnal threat. So, likely a wind and hail issue. Tornadoes are possible up there, but they're not as likely. Half-inch ice in northern Wisconsin. 85 plus mile per hour gusts. What's going on, Quinn? In eastern Illinois and western Indiana. Yeah. Trees confirmed to be down. Yeah. Trees confirmed to be tipped over. Yep, this squall line right here is definitely packing. Packing some heavy winds. But this down here is where I'm worried about tornadoes. Sigtors. Tornadoes are possible up there to the north, but Sigtors down there to the south. Sunny in Dayton, Ohio. You want that sun to go away to lower your tornado chances and your severe chances. Hey there, Lima, Ohio. What's going on, Violet? Lima, Ohio. Let's look at the timing. I mean, this looks to me like it's 3 hours away, but let's look at the timing on our HRRR. So initiation around 7-8. That would be 3 hours away. This is, again, going to be a big wind and hail threat for you. Not impossible to see tornadoes, but wind and hail is going to be the biggest issue, and that's going to be right after the sun goes down likely, or as the sun is setting. things can intensify as the sun sets and the upper atmosphere cools again, like I said. What's the weather looking like for Knoxville, Tennessee? Not bad. I'm not as worried about Eastern. Sorry that it's not showing any city names. Radar Omega's just tripping right now. Not as worried about Eastern Tennessee as I am about Central and Western. Hail and winds are possible. QLCS type tornadoes, EF1, EF0s are possible. Stay weather alert as it gets into the early hours. 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Things could really go downhill out here. This is going to be a late night, early morning type of event for Eastern Tennessee. Check rotation near Plymouth, Indiana. Looks sketchy. Okay. Yes, sir. No, it doesn't want to show me Plymouth, Indiana. All right, let's check it. 70 tornado possible, 70 plus mile per hour winds. Damage threat considerable. Let's pull into our single site radar. Radar Omega is absolutely tripping right now. I can tell by the look at this that you have probably 80 plus mile per hour gusts in here. Strong gusts. Lots of turbulence in this as well. I don't see a strong rotation in here. Let me look at the reflectivity. This is giving some interesting rotation vibes in here. Also in here. You can see what's happening. That's what I circled right there. That's a possibility. But nothing. Also right here. That looks a little bit sketchy. Sorry. But nothing yet. Nothing yet. Give me half a second, guys. Woo, need to breathe. Been on 2 hours, and I've been talking too much. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Does anyone know how much South Carolina won by? $54-50? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Brunswick, Ohio. Pavel, give me a second. Has there been any confirmed tours today? There's been like a couple observed since I've been on, yes. Yes, there has been. 1 second. One second, guys. Promise I'm almost done. I didn't answer anyone in my TikTok video today. I like answering questions, and I didn't answer anyone because I rushed to get on live. All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, let me answer Brunswick, Ohio, and then I'll get back to answering other ones. Oh, Brunswick, Ohio. What is going on upstairs? Oh my gosh. Brunswick, Ohio, pretty far up to the northeast. Severe weather's possible up there. You're in that 2% tornado. You are up there in that 15% wind risk. Not terrible, but again, timing-wise, and you do have you have a decent hail, tornado, and wind risk. Wind and hail is probably bigger. Wind's probably your biggest risk tonight. Nothing crazy for you out there, but this is going to be a 9, 10, 11 midnight type of event for you. So stay weather alert after the sun goes down. It'd be a little sketchy. 70-mile-per-hour winds, inch hail, tornado possible in this region here currently. This line of storms up here is really, really cranking, guys. Oh my god, and Radar Omega can't even put my cities up. This is ridiculous. You guys know what's up here, okay? Let me check tornado potential in here. There's some decent shear. It doesn't look like we have a tornado on the ground, though. It does not look like we have a tornado on the ground. Let me switch this back and see if we can get radar. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm closing and reopening this. This is ridiculous. There we go. So this is about to move out towards Wabash. I don't know, guys. We're about an hour away from Fort Wayne, Columbus City, Goshen, South Bend. We're very close to you guys. And again, this thing is starting to attach and get itself together. Indianapolis, an hour or two. We'll probably see this moving into you. Could be less. And now, look what it did. It just took everything away. Here, let me put this back up for you guys. All my threat zones are just gone. Their servers are so bad. There we go. Tornado warning on the ground. Ping pong ball size hail. Southern Illinois, southern central, up to the northeast of Mount Vernon. Let's talk about this really quickly. This is important. Large hail, possibly just to the southwest of Clay City, Illinois. This is moving out to the northeast towards Olney, Noble, Clay City. There's a little bit of a notch in here, which is concerning. We could have a decent tornado. There's clearer-ish skies out to the south of it. And again, this is where you can get stronger tornadoes put down. Let's go to our velocities. There looks to be good rotation there. And some hail, maybe light debris out there to the southwest of Clay City and Noble and Olney, Illinois. So get a safe spot if you're there. That's big hail. Those are some high cloud tops. All right. RYZZ, you are muted for the entire live because you just spammed something 1,000 times. I don't want to be mean, but that's ridiculous. Bloomington, it's okay to ask the same question a couple times. Yeah, Radar Omega, but don't spam it a million times in a row. I gotta stretch. I'm hurting, guys. I'm old. What did I just say? Full-time firefighter here. My wife is home and my son is in Napanee, Indiana. Anything expected? Did I just see that area? Napanee? Napanee. Probably butchering the name of this, but I would say this. They're about 15 to 20 minutes away from some possibly damaging winds. Not really, to trees, power lines, and stuff like that. You could have 70-plus mile-per-hour gusts. 80 possible plus mile-per-hour gusts in here that's about to move into Napanee, we'll call it. And there's not a tornado threat in here right now, which is great. But there's some hail in here. You can see the hail core here and some strong winds. So I would say there's a possibility of some power going out in that area. Some power is going to go out with this storm right here, with this squall line. But they should, we don't have I don't see a tornado threat in here. It does say tornado possible, but when I look in here, this is a little bit concerning. I would say this is a little bit concerning, actually. Wait, hold up. I mean, this doesn't look like a severe tornado if we get one here, but you could get an EF0 out of this, EF1. I would say better safe than sorry. If you're in Napanee, you'd probably want to be bottom floor interior of your house. This is a little bit of a concerning look for rotation here, and it could drop something. Again, not like a significant EF2 plus tornado or anything. This is more likely to do some damage to rooftops, power lines, and trees and stuff like that. So if they're inside, they're fine. But this does look like a damaging storm. A little bit of inflow here. Hopefully this passes to the south of Napanee. Everyone here should be fine, but this is probably going to do a little bit of damage to some areas out here. So I would say better safe than sorry, just to be in a safe spot in Napanee. This is all going to be over in probably 40, 45 minutes. But that's knocking on the doorstep there. I just don't love how this reflectivity looks. Or sorry, how this velocity looks here. 1 second. Let's go to correlation coefficient. 1 second, guys. Yeah, better safe than sorry. The squall lines, I mean, this thing is it has a lot of winds. Has a decent punch to it. Everyone is saying different cities. Where is he? This is now northern central Illinois. This whole line right here, people should be paying attention to. This is where we've gotten destructive wind, severe thunderstorm warnings a few times already, which means 80+ mile per hour winds have been associated with this squall line here. So 70+ are all up and down this. You've got 60 here. You've got 70 here, 70 here. 70 here, damage threat considerable, tornado possible in this region as well. We don't see any massive, crazy tornado on the ground out here, but we see the potential for something to drop, so it's just better to be careful, you know. We are still watching this tornado threat down here in southern Illinois. Ping pong ball size hail heading out towards Olney. Oops. About to move through Clay City. Definitely a little bit of rotation there. It doesn't look to be super strong tornado right now, but it could develop into something stronger. Another severe thunderstorm warning right to the south of it. 60 mile per hour winds. At least I have my sound back. Quinn, lemon-sized hail somewhere in Missouri, I think. Let's see. 2-inch hail, Ozark, Missouri, Howell, Missouri. 2-inch hail. That's why I'm concerned about Missouri, southeastern Missouri, because with big hail comes strong updrafts, and with strong updrafts comes a higher tornado potential. 2-inch hail, Ozark, Missouri, Howell, Missouri. Big hail. Possible tornado, 70 mile per hour gusts, and considerable damage threat. LaGrange, Indiana, Elkhart, Indiana, Fulton, Indiana, Miami, Indiana, Noble, Indiana, Marshall, Indiana, Cass, Indiana, Kosciuszko, Indiana, can't pronounce it, Whitley, Indiana, Huntington, Indiana, and Wabash, Indiana. Kosciuszko? Kosciuszko. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out. Give me a second.
Kosciuszko.
Kosciuszko. I knew that. Kosciuszko, Indiana. Logansport, Indiana. Yeah, the worst looks like it just moved right past you. So you are through that major squall line right there. So not impossible for you to see a little bit of severe weather on the back end of this, but not super likely. You've got rain, cooled air now, and you have stability behind this squall line. Congratulations. You made it. I'm just kidding. I need glasses, but they're hurting my ears. How bad is it going to hit southeast Michigan? I think that's what I saw. Your biggest threat is that you can see this 45% wind zone. Destructive wind zone. So this is after the sun goes down, but tonight, southeastern Michigan, you could have very, very strong gusts. Category 1 plus strength, 75+ mile per hour winds, 80+ mile per hour winds in southeastern Michigan. Not impossible to get an EF1, EF0 tornado up here. Not impossible to get a SIG-TOR, not likely though. Not impossible to get some okay size hail as well, but that wind threat with the squall line after the sun sets is concerning. But that's one thing I'd keep my eye on up there with. Again, let's see what's going on with this thing down here. Okay. Reflect. Ooh. All right. Sorry, guys. Let me get back. Delaware, Ohio. I'm just looking at chat and then answering when it, I'm not going to try to answer everyone, but it's tough. Landon, I appreciate you. And Julie, that's probably from a while ago, but sometimes I miss stuff. Don't go away. Don't look how close that is to Ohio. No problem. Oops, that's just Delaware. That's not Delaware, Ohio. Yeah, I mean, you guys are right outside it. You guys are in this 30 to 45% destructive wind zone. Timing for you guys, don't take this on the exact, hour, but things probably start to go downhill around 8, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then you could see the more damaging wind and hail threat around 10, 11 p.m. out there. Not impossible to get a decent tornado out there. Your bigger threat is hail and wind. Your biggest... In order, your biggest threat is wind, then hail, then tornadoes. Likely you don't have a major tornado threat, but there's a threat of everything up here. That wind threat with that main squall line is what we're most concerned with up there. Our tornado concern, our SIG tornado concerns down here. Grand Rapids, Michigan. You guys are, you can see this squall line wanting to move through right around 6 p.m. Eastern. So I'd get ready within 30 minutes for some potential bad conditions moving in. Not much of a tornado threat up there, but you could get some decent hail and winds in the next hour or two up there in Grand Rapids. 30% risk zone for wind is no joke. Again, I appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow and subs, guys. Rima, what's going on? Coffee Magic. Rima, I appreciate you. Welcome back. Madisonville, Kentucky. Madisonville. What I'm going to do after I answer this is I'm going to go over, because everyone has questions about their areas, okay? So what I'm going to do after I answer this is I'm going to go over the whole area so everyone has an idea of what's going on. Madisonville, Kentucky. Yes. Madisonville, Kentucky. You are in a concerning area. You're in what we would consider that main target area for the severe weather, where you could get, you have a threat of some decent stuff, hail, wind, and tornadoes. SIG tours are possible in your area. Around 8, 9 p.m., start paying attention. You should be paying attention now. You never know. Sometimes you get discrete cells ahead of your main squall line. But SIG tours are possible after the sun goes down tonight, meaning EF2 pluses. Hopefully not. But you are in that damaging wind, and you are in the gorilla hail zone as well, so 4-inch plus hail. So, still tough to, even with this, not everyone's going to see that big hail, or most people won't see a tornado out of this. The winds are going to affect the most people because it's going to be associated with the squall line that's passing over everyone. Pay attention tonight after the sun goes down. Let me go over this for everyone timing-wise with our latest HRRR run, the 19Z, because everyone has all sorts of questions. First of all, let me take a sip of this. Hopefully what I'm about to do answers most of the questions in chat. Okay? Hear me out. What we have going on right now. Here's where our severe weather is right now. See that blue line? Central Indiana, down through southeastern Illinois, down through southeastern Missouri, and it's moving east. Damaging winds are associated with this. Tornadoes are possible with this big hail. This, what we're looking at right now on the map, is our wind threat. This is a 45%. I'm going to lose my mind if Radar Omega does this again. This is our 45% threat. So this area has 100% chance of what we call destructive winds, 80 plus mile per hour wind gusts. But this is a 45%, meaning over half the people in here won't experience those. But this zone, very strong winds are associated with the squall line. And then as we get out here, all the way out here, you get down to 30%, 15%. So this is our wind threat. Timing-wise, again, this is our main squall line right here. Okay, so this is our main squall line right there. That's going to be producing this hail, wind, and a lot of tornadoes. And you could get some of the stronger tornadoes out ahead in these discrete cells, these popcorn cells. This is at around 8 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m., watch this squall line. 9 p.m. Eastern, 10, 11, midnight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. So look at where you are. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. This is our wind threat. Now, really quickly, before I get back, this is our tornado threat. Anyone in any of these colored areas has a chance of seeing a tornado. The biggest threat of a strong, or what we call a significant tornado, a SIGTOR, is in here. This is where we think an EF2 long track tornado is possible, meaning a big, 200 plus mile per hour winds that's on the ground for an extended period of time. But this 10% is no joke. And again, the green area is still a chance for tornadoes there. It's less likely. I don't think we're going to see a tornado outbreak with this. I think we're going to get a few SIGTORs possibly. I don't think Wednesday, Thursday coming up, that storm looks like we could get an outbreak. I don't want to jump the gun on that though. The pew. I got to be careful how I say it. Okay, lastly, and then I got to get back to these warnings. Hail. This area, and again, let's look at the timing here. This is really 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the hail threat. This area has the chance of seeing significant hail, 2, 3, 4 inch plus size hail, grapefruit size hail. But again, you've got your 15% in here as well. So there's a lot going on. Okay. All right. Now let me get back to chat and answer questions. Again, this is a 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. type of event like that. Yeah, I'm drawing everywhere. So I just went through hail, wind, and tornado threat there. Yeah, so this is on hail. Let me go back. Let me just go back to our categorical. This is our categorical threat. It's gigantic. Let's see. Detroit. Yeah, we've talked about Detroit a lot. After the sun goes down, we're talking later in the night, probably 8, 9, 10 p.m. Pay attention. You could have biggest threat is going to be strong winds associated with the squall line that moves through. The Atlanta threat looks closer to 11 a.m. to 12 in the afternoon tomorrow. And you are in an enhanced now. So here's where things almost start to go downhill. This is 9 a.m., but I think right now with the HRRR, it looks closer to 11 a.m. to 12 in the afternoon. We could get some good, decent, severe storms in and around northern Georgia. Really, all moving through all of Georgia. I've heard that when the storms are in a line, the tornado risk goes way down. And, the tornado risk goes up, but the significant tornado risk, the having strong tornadoes goes down. Yeah, so I would say the risk goes down overall. Yeah. Quinn, I think there might be a tornado near Milford, Indiana. Let me look at this again really quickly. Why does this look like a counterclockwise rotation? It's weird. All right, not this. This might expire. Let me check the velocities up here real quick. So yeah, so what happens? Sorry guys, my throat's hurting me. So what happens? when you have like little cells out ahead, when you get what's called popcorn cells, where you see a bunch of little cells out ahead, say there's a bunch of little cells here, little thunderstorm, little circle thunderstorms. Thunderstorms need a good inflow. Some warm, moist air out ahead that's being funneled into the storm, and that the updrafts can pick up, push up into the upper atmosphere, condense, release that latent heat, and fuel the storm. What happens when the storms consolidate like this and you get a squall line is you're getting that inflow, but it's sharing it with here. It's sharing the inflow up and down. So you're not getting a strong inflow anywhere. The energy is shared. So you have a chance for more tornadoes, but none of them typically will get up to that EF2 plus status. Sometimes they do, but not typically. But when you have a bunch of what we call popcorn setup, where you have just a bunch of cells out ahead, these type of storms out here concern me a little bit more, where you have this like popcorn setup. These are when you could see much stronger tornadoes. But you can see strong tornadoes in a squall line too, but they're sharing a lot of that energy that's being pushed into it. Milford, Indiana. Let me check that again. It's hard to see because the radar's right there, so we have radar distortion. Really hard to see if there's one around Milford. Let's see. Hobart, Indiana. Yeah, the worst has passed over you. I'm not getting any sound from my alerts. God, Radar Omega. Give me my money back if you're not going to work. Terrible. Terrible. Make sure it's all on. Let's turn it off and back on. 1 second, guys. Severe thunderstorm warning. Let's just turn it off and back on. So annoying. Let's turn this off and back on. Yeah, we're getting severe thunderstorm here. Let me pull this back up. Let me just. I want to check on this again. Now that tornado warning is going to expire. 2-inch hail, Ozark, Missouri, Howell, Missouri, around that region still. Marshall, Indiana, Cass, Michigan, Berrien, Michigan, LaPorte, Indiana, St. Joseph, Indiana, possible tornado, 70+ mile per hour gust, damage threat considerable. Here we go, 3-inch hail, Shannon, Missouri, close to 3-inch hail, destructive damage threat. This bad boy right here, moving over Winona, out to the east towards Van Buren, Missouri, destructive damage threat. Here we go. Baseball size hail. And what do we worry about with large hail? Tornadoes. Look at the velocities here. I bet you we see this on correlation coefficient. Baseball size hail moving out towards Van Buren, Missouri. Right over Winona, Missouri. Wow. 2-inch hail down to the southwest of it, moving into West Plains, Missouri. These storms out here are looking serious, guys. These storms out here, again, I keep talking about southeastern Missouri. I think this is where the worst of the weather is going to really initiate it. We have some pretty bad weather already, but that's big hail, baseball size. Let me go back down into here. 2-inch hail near Perry, Illinois, Franklin, Illinois, Jefferson, Illinois, Washington, Illinois, and Jackson, Illinois. That's pretty big hail. 1.5 Madison, Missouri, St. Francois, and St. Genevieve, Missouri. 1.5 hail. We've got currently 40 severe thunderstorm or 40 weather alerts. 27 severe thunderstorm warnings, 12 flash flood warnings, and 1 tornado warning that I think is going to expire. Yes, it will in 2 minutes. Make that 41 weather alerts. Okay, let me move this back here and look at back to chat. Speed run. Ready, chat? Some roof companies are going to be getting called, my God, yeah, and overcharging people. Lafayette, Indiana. This move, you guys are looking pretty good now. You've had the worst move over you. Clayton, Indiana, where are you guys? Just to the west of Indianapolis. Yeah, you've got maybe an hour before you start to see some of the worst thunderstorms moving in. If you look out to your west, you probably see a bunch of lightning. Did they extend this? No, that's about to expire. Okay, good. But this could come with some strong wind and hail, moving right in towards Indianapolis right now. All right. I might need to get... I'm hungry again. I might need to get something to eat, guys, and then get back on. I won't be off very long because I know a bunch of stuff is happening on here, but I think we've got a little bit more time until we start to see potential, sig tours pop up down there. But I'm a little hungry. Cookeville, Tennessee. Let's look at your timing. You are in this enhanced area. Strongest tornado threat just out to your west, but you're really close to that SIG-TOR tornado threat, and you could see those, potentially those destructive winds associated with that squall line, some decent hail out here. You're far enough west. So, timing-wise for you guys, though, Orlando rotation to the east. Let's get back to the 19Z. Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. That still looks like a pretty put-together squall line to me. So, hail and strong winds. Not impossible to get a decent tornado out there, though. Orlando. Yeah, you're right. Tornado warning. Radar indicated. New. Radar Mega's going to make me wait. It's out here towards Walt Disney World. Where is it? There's the parks right there. Okay, come on. Let's work for me, Radar Mega. Do your job. Come on. Okay. This looks like we may have a tornado on the ground right there, moving out east towards Horizon West, Four Corners, and the Walt Disney World parks. This would likely be to the north of the parks, but it's close. That looks like it's on the ground, so I'd be in a safe spot if I'm out here, Horizon West, Four Corners, Walt Disney World. They're probably telling people to get inside out in Disney right now. So here is Magic Kingdom, right literally in front of it. That's Magic Kingdom. So I'm sure they're telling people to get inside. Yeah. So Disney Springs was right there. Yeah, Magic Kingdom. All right, let me get back up here to the north. TTV, I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Nicola Kathleen Shari, I appreciate the roses. Thank you. Thank you. Jeffersonville, Indiana. Let's take a look. You guys, so Louisville, Kentucky. No, okay. Yeah, you guys are in this. You guys are in this hatched air tornadoes. EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. You're in the 45% wind zone, and you're in the hatched hail zone. So not a great place to be. Keep weather alerts on. Timing wise for you, most likely you'll be fine though. I mean, again, most people aren't going to see power outages are are going to be widespread. Most people aren't going to see a destructive tornado from this. It's possible in this yellow hatch zone, 50% hatch zone. Timing-wise, 8, 9, 10 p.m., really want to be paying attention. Maybe as early as 7. Sometimes you get some storms sparking up or igniting out ahead of these main squall lines. But after the sun goes down, things are going to go downhill a little bit in that area. You're in the yellow zone? Well, this is where we could see the strongest tornadoes from this. Could, not guaranteed, but this is where we have the most, instability. TTV, I appreciate that. Murfreesboro, Tennessee threat. Yeah, you're in that SIGTOR area as well. Strong tornadoes. Very strong tornadoes are possible there. You're in the 45% wind zone. The only zone you're not, the only terrible zone you're not in is hail, but I don't know. I think big hail is possible out there as well. If you're in a SIGTOR area, big hail is possible. So, but timing-wise for you, this is going to be a little bit later. So, closer to midnight, give or take an hour. Keep those weather alerts on. Are you in the hail zone also? You're in the 15% hail zone. So, yeah, you're not in this hatched hail zone, but you could still get 2-inch plus hail. The thing is, if you get a SIGTOR, that's going to come with big hail. But squall line, your QLCS, gorilla hail is more likely in this red zone through here. Let's get back here. Toledo, Ohio, plans for 7:30. $7:30 Eastern. Let's see. The worst looks to move in right around 7:30, 8 p.m. This could be, you have the potential for destructive hail and winds. So it's not guaranteed, but that's pretty bad timing. I would say it's pretty bad timing, unfortunately. Really quick, let's go over our alerts. Again, radar indicated tornado, Polkville, Florida, Lakeville, Florida. Headed right towards Magic Kingdom. Get in a safe spot out there. We'll go back down in a second. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings, but this is almost 3-inch hail that's being recorded around Shannon, Missouri. Destructive damage threat, winds 60 mile per hour gusts or above. Wabash, Indiana. How do you pronounce that again? Hold up. Oh, why did I take that down? I wanted to know how to pronounce that. Kosciuszko, Indiana, Fulton, Whitley, Marshall, Elkhart, Noble, Miami, Huntington, and LaGrange, Indiana. Tornado possible, 70 plus mile per hour wind gusts, considerable damage threat there. Marshall, Indiana, LaGrange, Cass, Berrien, St. Joseph, Elkhart, yeah, that whole area. Tornado possible around Kalamazoo, Missouri, Van Buren, Missouri, and Allegan, Missouri. 80 plus mile per hour winds recorded. Damage threat destructive. Right here. Right here. Oh, is this Michigan actually? Sorry. This is Michigan. This is Michigan. Van Buren, Michigan, Allegan, Michigan. Did I say that? Kalamazoo, Michigan. Destructive damage threat, possible 80 plus mile per hour wind gusts through here. So if I have anyone in chat who's up here, be aware of that. Big, strong winds and hail possible moving up here towards Kalamazoo, Allegan sounds better. New tornado warning that's on the ground right here, heading up towards Kendallville and Angola, Jamestown, Fremont, Wolcottville, Brome City, Indiana. Let's take a look. Wow, look at those velocities. This is your tornado probably right in here. So get in a safe spot if you are up here. Kendallville, Angola, northeastern Missouri, or Indiana, northeastern Indiana. This is a pretty big tornado warning right up here. Doesn't look like we have a major tornado on the ground, but this could be EF1 to EF0, and it could intensify quickly. So treat that seriously. Again, we do have tennis ball size hail and a considerable damage threat out here in Missouri as well, near Merriam Woods, heading up to the north towards Ava, Mansfield, Missouri. Guys, I might get off for a little bit. I'm streaming about 2.5 hours. I'm hungry. I want to eat, so I'll probably get off for a little bit here, and then I'm going to get back on. I know I couldn't answer some people's questions. I am going to get back on in a little bit. Mesomat, I think, is live streaming right now. MESOMATT. MESOMATT. He knows his stuff. He's answering questions. He has lots of mods in the chat that'll help answer questions. And he's definitely a good person to go to while this is unfolding. So I'm going to get off for a little bit, and then I will get back on and continue to cover this. Things are starting to pick up a little bit here. I'm going to be checking my phone, and I'll run back here if I do see a Sigtor touchdown, but I will be getting back on in a little bit. I appreciate you guys being in here, and hopefully I'll see you in a little bit so I can answer more questions and keep covering this.